Okay, so welcome to the Spice whitewater rafting expedition webinar. So thanks for coming along, everybody. It's great to see you all, or can't see you all, of course, as I've just explained. But we will, have some time together, and I'll go through some information, tell you a little bit about the trip. And hopefully it will help break the ice and get you all excited about coming on the trip. So yeah, more information. I know we've already given you loads of information, but it is a very special trip. I'm sure you're looking forward to it, and it is a unique trip. It's something that is, from my perspective, I've been on the trip 3 times. With 10 years in between. So I first went in 1990, and then in 2000, and I went again in 2012. So around 10 years in between. And for me, it's been one of the highlights of my life. It really has been an amazing experience, and each one is very special and certainly really enhanced my life. And I hope it'll be the same for you. I'm very proud to sort of, if you like, bring it to Spice. And offer it to our members. We've had about 500 members go down the canyon in total over the years, and so you're going to join that privileged band, and that's really exciting. I know you're going to have a wonderful time. So yes, and what I'm going to do is I'll bring in Diane here, because Diane's your coordinator. She's actually our London coordinator, and Diane has been on the trip in the past. I can't remember when. She might well just tell us, and obviously she'll be looking after you and be able to assist you throughout the trip. So Diane, are you there?
I'm here. Hi everyone.
Great, super. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Can hear you good. And
okay, good.
I'm sure you're looking forward to the trip.
Oh yes, I am. I last went in 2005, I think.
Okay.
So it was a while ago. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Oh, great. Well, that's super. And all right then. Well, if you've got anything you want to chip in with, just type it up, or I can leave you on mute, Diane. And I think if you mute yourself, you have to mute yourself. And that way the background noise will go. And then when you...
I think just mute me, Dave, because actually the connection's not very good.
Oh,
I can't hear you, that's why it keeps breaking up.
Okay, Diane. Well, if you want to say anything or add anything, just type it and I'll pick it up that way.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Right, so that's Diane. So yes, so real special trip, and we want you to enjoy it to its absolute maximum and get the maximum value out of it. So obviously it's a lot of money. It's probably the most expensive trip you could go on, but it's worth every penny. And but because of that, or in part because of that, we want to make sure you're fully prepared, got all the information and knowledge you need, and then you can really make the best of it and really enjoy it and relax. So, and this is the first time we've tried a pre-holiday meet webinar, but or online meeting, if you like. But I think it is something that would be I hope it's going to be quite valuable for members going forward. And so hopefully I'd be interested in your feedback about whether you think it's been useful, just to get an overview and a bit more information and a contact with us, a bit more engagement, as they say. Just let us know in your feedback at the end of the webinar. So with no more ado, let's just carry on and give you a little bit more information about the trip. Now obviously the scenery, as you can imagine, is absolutely spectacular once you get there. It's awesome, as the Americans say, and it changes on a daily basis or on an hourly basis as you make this journey, and you're going to be traveling around about 250 miles down the canyon over the 8 days, and you will be going through about 70 sets of rapids along the way, and sometimes there's long stretches without rapids, and sometimes they're close together, and some are big and some are small, but they're all a lot of fun. But it's not obviously we tend to focus on the rapids and think, oh my, that's what it's all about. But although the rapids are a lot of fun, there is so much more to enjoy in the canyon. So so we'll try and cover off some of those things and also tell you a little bit about the practicalities. So what I'll do is I'll use the slideshow I've got here just to prompt me and talk a little bit about what happens when. So obviously the itinerary is that you will check in at London for your flight, and that's where Diane will be there to meet you at the check-in for your flight, which I think it's about 3 hours before, so it's got about 9:30. But that will be confirmed in your joining letter, and your joining letter with your tickets should go out at the beginning of next week. So you should get them at the beginning of next week. And off we go to Las Vegas. We then land late afternoon, make our way together on a transfer to the hotel, which is the Luxor, the Pyramid, which is a fun hotel to be in on the Strip. So you'll check in there and get your rooms, and you'll be very tired because obviously, although it's 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, it will be in your body clock 2, 3 in the morning. But the secret is to try and stay up, because if you crash and go to bed, you'll be waking up at 3 and 4 in the morning. And the idea is we build in these 2 or 3 days just so you can start to acclimatise, so you can enjoy the canyon at its at your best. So try and stay up, and probably Diane will take you for a walk on the Strip, go and see MGM and a couple of the nearby hotels, the New York, and there's a switch back there and so on. So you'll have a night on the town, if you like, and then come back. And then the next morning, Tuesday, you've got a full 3 day in Las Vegas. And again, there will be a sort of optional itinerary that Diane will tell you about as you go along. So don't try and remember all this. You'll be prompted as you go, and at the various meetings. So there'll be a breakfast meeting, and then those that want, what we suggest is that you walk down to the sort of half-price show booth, which is not too far away, and look at the shows that are on offer for that day at half price, a bit like they do in London and in New York. There's a half-price booth where you get real good deals, and you can look at the shows and the concerts and see what's happening in Las Vegas. There's loads to choose from, different budgets. Some of the shows are absolutely amazing and not to be missed, especially the Cirque du Soleil shows. So watch out for them, and you'll be able to decide as a little group what you want to do. So you might break up into, some people might want to go and see a concert, and others go and see a show or whatever, but Diane will organise that. So you've got something to do either on the only on the Wednesday night, so you've only got that really that night. There'll also be a meal in the evening as well. So lots of things to do. One of the things that we'll do is then probably in the afternoon go to the Stratosphere, which is the big tower in Vegas, and on the top of the Stratosphere tower there are some exciting rides. So given that you're up for it, obviously, then you might want to go and have a look at these rides. So that's one of them, and that's another one which sort of takes you out and twirls you around over you see how high it is there. And there's also one that shoots you up into the sky, which is absolutely amazing. And there's one where you jump off of it, so you come down these wires that you can see. And quite a few Spicers have done that in the past. So very exciting. So you can go down there, or you might just want to enjoy the view. So, which you're welcome to do as well, and you can eat up there. So probably do that on the Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night off and do the show. Thursday, you then basically last day to get your bits together. Maybe go and see a few of the hotels. Sometimes people want to go on a flight, to see the Grand Canyon, a helicopter flight, which there's lots of options to do that. But I would suggest, unless you're absolutely desperate to do that, I would say leave that until when you come back, because it is very expensive, maybe £200–300 you can fly into the canyon or just see a little bit of it, or go on a longer trip, or land and go horse riding and come back. So there's loads of options. They are very expensive, but I know in the past people have done that, and then after they've rafted through it for 8 days, sort of said, oh, well, actually, I didn't really need to do it beforehand. I could have saved the money because I feel it. I've lived in it and owned it, and love it, come to love it that way. So it might be an idea, just to hold back on that, and if you really want to fly over it again and get that perspective, do it at the end of the trip when you're back in Vegas. So that's on the Thursday, and also there's an opportunity to go shopping, and that's where, if you've not quite picked up any last minute things, you want to buy some raft shoes, or you've forgotten something that you think you need, suntan lotion, or even a whatever day sack, or whatever camera protector, or then you can go to the local shopping mall, which again Diane will have information about, and go and have a look down there. But on that Thursday night, that's the briefing meeting. So we meet at a time which is stated in your joining packs. I think it's already been in the information we've sent. I think it's about, I can't remember the exact time, it might be 7 or thereabouts, or 7:15. And you come and meet at the front of the hotel, jump into taxis and go to the briefing meeting, which is in another building, sort of, not very far away, but off the strip, where the Grand Canyon Company brief you, and they give you the rucksack, if you like, that you put your kit in to go on the canyon. So on this picture, I don't know if you can't really see it, but we will see it in a minute. So you'll get a sack, waterproof sack, to put your clothes and any bits and bobs in, and all your other gear. So they'll give you that. They'll also give you an ammo can, which you can put your camera in, and sweets, and your phone and anything else you want to, so that you have access to all the time. So that happens, and they tell you a little bit more about the canyon and what's going to happen at that meeting. And then you come back and try and get an early night, because you're up quite early the next morning for the transfer by bus to the canyon. And this is us. You don't get breakfast that morning, but they do stop at a sort of McDonald's on the way. You're setting off about 6 o'clock, something like that. So it's a early get up, and you're on your way. And you arrive at the canyon about 2 o'clock, about a 6-hour drive, and then you get briefed there again with your raft guides, meet your raft guides, and get a little bit of briefing, and that's where you set off. So you can see on that picture, that's the briefing going on, and they're demonstrating how to put the life jacket on. So you do have to wear the life jacket all the time you're on the raft. It's just one of the rules and regulations. The rafts, by the way, don't flip over, or there's no danger they're gonna flip over. You will get wet, but don't worry that they're going to tip over or anything like that. But although it's possible you could fall off, so that's partly why you wear the life jacket, obviously. And mostly people don't fall off. So there is one or two stories in our history where people have been fallen off, but that's another story. Right, so that's just a briefing there going on. You can see, actually, this is the top of the canyon, and it's where you can have access to the river, and it's relatively flat. So that's how this is. Now, unfortunately, I've not been able to get the pictures in the right order, so you will get. I'll jump around a bit here, but this is lunch. So every lunch, the guides set up a table, and you can see there's cheese and meat and crisps and fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. So you can you build a couple of sandwiches for your lunch, and that's what happens every day. And they find a nice spot on the canyon to do that in. So at the side, it's very sandy often and sort of beachy-fied at the side of the canyon, so it's really pleasant. You can have a sit down there. So yeah, that's just a wonderful view. Within a 10 minutes, you're basically already into the canyon that deep from setting up, and then it just gets bigger and bigger. It's just mind-boggling, really. The other thing that perhaps isn't talked about much that I think is worth remembering or knowing about is that at night time, because when it goes dark, and you tend to fall in with the flow of the day, which is lovely, so as it goes dark, you start to go to bed, and you're better not knowing what time it is when you go to bed or what time you get up. But hopefully, obviously I'm not sure, I've not checked, but if you've got the moon isn't at its best, if it's not a full moon, or even if it is a full moon, you see the most astonishing skyscapes. I mean, the stars are just astonishing, and you can lie in your bed and just look at the stars all day, all night, all day, all night, and you'll see satellites going across and shooting stars, because you're in the desert, so there's no light pollution, and absolutely amazing skies, and you just really do lie back and wonder, you know. So I really did enjoy that. So another thing that people ask about and are concerned about is the toilet facilities. So just to give you an idea, there is a couple of these toilets on board, and so they set this up the first thing when they sort of stop for the evening or the late afternoon. They set up the toilet, and obviously away from the camp, in a sort of it's in the open, but nobody can see unless another raft goes past. And the red bucket is for weeing in for the ladies. The men wee in the river, and the idea is that you don't pollute or obviously on the land, and everything that goes into the canyon comes out of the canyon with you. So nobody obviously that's what happens. Now, if you don't, people worry about what happens if I can't hold on during the day. So if you need to go during the day, then the raft men do have a system and a way of sorting that out. So you know, but it's amazing how you get quite quick at deciding it's your turn to go, and you can be on and off that and done your business in, I think, 20 seconds. You'll be surprised. So lots of names for this. Dan's reminding me it's called the groomer, but they call it all sorts of things, the different guides, and it's one of those trips, being an expedition, where of course it becomes quite a topic of conversation as to who's been and when you've been and when you're going next. So that's how the loo works. As I say, the red bucket is for the ladies to wee in, because they're not expected to sort of wade into the river, and that way you're not filling the box full very quickly. Oh dear, shall we move on? Anyways, so this was just to give you, or remind me and give you an illustration that as you go down the river, quite often, quite regularly, you're making stops, because the raft men know all the spots where there's really beautiful side attractions, if you like, natural attractions, like this one, waterfalls, real wonderful caves, canyons, maybe some old remains from an Indian settlement from 1,000 years ago, maybe some of the recent canyon history, maybe the battered boat from you know, when a honeymoon couple went down in the 30s or something. So you're constantly on and off the raft going to look at things. So you're not sort of stuck on the raft all day. You're really up and down and jumping on and off quite regularly. The other thing to say is there will be 2 rafts, obviously, because there's 20 of you, and there will be plenty of room. Normally they book 14 people on each raft, but because of the permit situation, that they're limited to how many people can go down the canyon, they're only allowed 20 permits for this trip. So you will have lots of room on the raft, which is great for you. You'll be able to stretch out a bit more, but also make sure that you move around between the 2 rafts. So don't have raft A and raft B and the same people. The idea is just jump on a raft at the start. Your stuff will be on one raft, but jump on each other's rafts and swap around, and so you're one big group rather than two rafts. It's not a race. There's no, it doesn't matter who's driving, and so on. So just enjoy the fact that you've got, and you've got great, because there's two rafts, you get great photos of each other as well as you pass each other and around each other. So this is a side canyon that is called, this is the Little Colorado. It actually comes from a spring about 80 miles upstream, or in the desert. So unpolluted, beautiful warm water. It's often this azure blue colour. It's like being in a warm bath, and it's smooth bottomed, these rocks. So we go and hopefully you'll go and play in there for an afternoon. I have to say, it's not always like that. If it's rained or there's been a storm, then it can be like drinking chocolate, really thick brown sort of chocolate. So and that's nice as well. But it is a beautiful place, and you'll enjoy that. So it's just giving you an idea of the sort of fun things you get to do while you're in the canyon. So this is a quick insight into how you sleep. So here you can see what you get is in this brown bag here. This is your sleep. This here is your, over to the right. I hope you can see that. That's your well, the bag you put all your clothes in, and that's what you will put your clothes in, your night clothes. You might have a fleece in there, you might have spare undies, that sort of thing, a couple of pair of shorts. You really don't need to take much on the canyon at all. And over here on the left, that's what your sleeping bag comes in. So on the raft, when you get there, they will give you a bag, and that will be your bag for the week. And in it, you've got basically this ground sheet, which is a big ground sheet, and then you've got a little mattress which self-inflates, so you unclip and it rolls out and self-inflates, that you can lie on. And these pillows we took, so we took the pillows, and you can see it's resting on one of the boat pillows. So that's how you sleep in your sleeping bag. Now the trick is you only get your sleeping bag out of your bag when you're ready to get in it. You don't want to be leaving it there for the evening while you have your meal, because then you don't want things crawling in it and making it their bed as well. So when you're ready to go to bed, you pull your sleeping bag out, and then in the day you pack it all up. So it's a quick job, easy job. Now there is tents on board, and you can opt to sleep in the tent, but it's normally just too warm and too sticky, and it's so beautiful to sleep out. It's lovely temperature, and the only thing is you do get the sand, which you can see there, does get everywhere, so no way around that. But it's still as if you're in the tent. So and in the case, if there was bad weather, then obviously you could put the tents up. So keep fingers crossed you won't have any rain. This is the ammo can here, so you can see the ammo can, and that's what you will keep your sort of bits and pieces in, and that's waterproof, and you've got easy access to that all day, every day. Incidentally, drinks are on the board, soft drinks are on board, and you can help yourself. They're available all the time, but you might want to take some alcohol perhaps. I'm not sure, not many spaces are into that, but if you're welcome to take some alcohol, but you do have to take it not in a glass bottle. So you might want to buy a water bottle or a metal bottle, some sort of plastic bottle you can decant your tipple into, or you might want to take your wine or buy your wine in Vegas as one of these bags of wine rather than a bottle of wine. And you can find wine in plastic bottles as well. So if you want wine and alcohol, you need to take that yourself, and you just buy that ahead of the trip and take it with you. So hope that's all making sense. Has anybody got any questions? Because I'm rambling away here. Don't hesitate to put your hand up if you've got a question, or type it into the box, and I'll come to you. So that's let me just change that over. Let me just have a look. Oh, there's a couple of questions. So good, great. So let's go through the questions. So I'm coming to Kathy first. Hi, Kathy. Can you hear me, Kathy? Hello? Are you there? I can only just hear you. Or I can't hear you. In fact, I can hear me. All right. Well, I'm assuming I can't hear you, Kathy. If you want to type your question into the question box, and I'll come back to that. Let's try, see if Liz is there. Are you there, Liz?
Yeah, I'm here. It's Liz Young in Bristol.
Hi, Liz.
Hello there. Hello. Can you recommend how much spending money we'll need for Las Vegas without, like just one show, maybe one meal, without buying drinks and things?
Yeah, you can. I mean,
£300.
How much?
Or £300.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. If you're going to see one show, and the shows can vary between £15 and £80 to go into. So that's if you're on a budget, you're going to choose a small one. If you're not bothered, you can go in a big one. But obviously, taking money is not as worrisome as it used to be. When we were a bit younger, because now you can take your credit card and or your debit card, and you can always pay as you go along for meals and things. But certainly that you're right. You're going to need a meal, a couple of meals. Your lunch and your meal. You're going to need. You want to maybe do a show. You might want to do one of the stratosphere rides. So yeah, I think a couple of £200 or £300, you've easily got enough there. But obviously, if you want to hit the roulette table.
No.
Liz?
Do we also take a little day sack for the canyon walk?
Yes. Take a day sack, and they're great for putting your water in and putting your bits and pieces in. So we'll cover off that as well in a minute.
Yeah. And can you successfully wash underwear and get it dried? So if you just took a couple of pairs.
Yes.
You wash them in the river and dry them kind of afternoon, evening?
Yeah, you can. That's exactly what...
without taking loads and loads of stuff? No.
I mean, I found most people wear sort of like, the shorts, and they've got gussets in them, haven't they? So I tended to... So you tend not to wear underpants if you're wearing them. And so most people are wearing that sort of thing. So you tend not to go through your underwear. You might want to put your underwear on at night time if you're more comfortable. So actually you don't need a lot of underwear because you're not wearing it. You tend to be wearing those sort of shorts. So, but yeah, you can certainly wash it, and you can buy this special washing sort of cream that isn't sort of, it's eco-friendly and gets a bit of a lather and so on. So yeah.
Yeah. And is it cool in the morning? Do you need your sort of like your waterproof thing on in the morning, and then you sort of like switch it over in the afternoon?
It's cool when you wake up or around the camp, but when you go, you need your waterproof so when you get on the boat, because the water is freezing cold. It comes from the bottom of a dam upstream. So, and it does get warmer as you go down the river, but it doesn't get that warm that you're going, it's like icy cold. So you tend to put your waterproofs on just to stop it hitting your skin and running off you as you go down. So when you get on the raft, usually, yes, you do. You get your, you put it on.
Okay, thanks.
All right, then. Well, lovely to hear from you. Have a great time.
Yeah, really excited. Really looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you. I'll come to Phil. You've got your hand up, and I can see you're on the phone there. How are you getting?
Yeah, hi. Do you recommend taking your own pillow then, you're saying in that picture?
Yeah, that was just one. It was like one we took ourselves. You don't need one. I mean, some people just roll their fleece soap, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a sort of a bit of a blue pillow behind it, and that's off the boat. You sit on those. So some people use their, the clothing, but I think it's a good tip to take a pillow. So some, you know, you can take those airline things as well, but they're not quite as comfortable, I don't think, sleeping on.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks.
Super. Anything else, Phil?
Yeah, I was going to ask about first aid kit.
Oh yeah, great. They've got a big first aid kit on the boat, and they're first aid trained, so you don't really have to worry about it. But it's always good to have a little mini first aid kit of your own. So, you know, if you want to take a couple of plasters and put something together, that's great. But you needn't worry because everything is on board.
Okay.
And it's not an obligation.
Right.
Don't expect you to have stuff with you. I mean, it's good to have, there's not really mosquitoes to worry about, but you might want a small bottle of mozzie spray. You know, nobody's ever been really troubled by them, but there's one or two mozzies now and then. So, you know, when you come, it's more like sand flies that might come out sometimes, and the odd person gets the odd bite, so it can always be safe and rub it on you and things like that. But and after sun, you might need after sun because it can get very hot.
Yeah.
But,
And yeah, just one last one. You were saying about alcohol before. Is it okay to take cans on?
yeah, you can take cans as well. Yeah, you can take cans. Cans are fine. It's just not glass. They don't want glass down the canyon. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Great.
Thanks. That's all.
All right, Phil. Super. Thank you.
Cheers.
Let's see who else. Anybody else? Right, I've got some questions coming here. Has nobody else got their hand up to chat? Oh, Kathy has. We'll just, and it's down again. Right, a few questions coming on the bottom. So on the thing. So, do we need insect repellent? And we've covered that. Can you leave your stuff at the hotel in Vegas? Yes, you can. That's all organised. So you do leave your cases with all your stuff in Vegas at the hotel, and then when you check back in, you pick it up again and off you go to your room. So that's where that stays while you're out in the canyon. How do you stop little companions joining you in your sleeping bag during the night? Karen says. Well, they tend not to. I mean, I don't think they do. I think if you had food in there, they might be interested. But for the most part, they stay well away from you. They're frightened of you, and they can smell you. They know you're there, and they stay well away. So it's not something that's been an issue historically that people have been disturbed by animals. But there's one or two nice stories there. So if you do leave food out, and I'll show you something in a minute, then they will come near. So if you have a late night snack, make sure it's all tucked away in your ammo can or something like that. What footwear, Sue's asked? Well, ideally you want one of these open, they're called raft shoes, so you can go into the sports shops, the big sports shops, and buy open sort of or mesh type shoes for rafts, for yachting. They sell them and so on. The ones that sort of let the water in and let the water out and dry off quite quickly. And they're ideal, but if you don't want to spend and buy something like that, and I mean I bought a pair last year from the local sports shop for about £8 actually. So, but if you don't want to wear those, you can take an old pair of trainers. They just don't dry as often, and you can be sat with wet trainers on. There's no need for walking shoes, although some people like to take walking shoes. You do some walks, but not big walks. And people tend to do them in sort of like a decent sandal, not flip-flop, but a pretty decent sandal. So yeah, those are your options really. I think I use my raft shoes and my sandals, and I didn't have any other shoes. So that's what I took. So I hope that helps with that, Sue. Another one is there any phone signal in the canyon? And there isn't. So that's a wonderful thing. You can just leave your phone in your ammo can. Obviously, you'll pick a signal up on the way back and on the way, but when you get down the canyon, you're out of touch from everybody and everything. It's the one time in your life that you'll not see a newspaper or hear any news. You're completely in a bubble, and it's wonderful. Waterproofs, again, you do need definitely you need to make sure you've got a waterproof top and waterproof trousers. Now, you can get them for £15–20 in a sports shop, and they go up from there. So you may already have something that you go hiking in, and that would do. But if you've not got anything, please don't spend a lot of money. Just you can go online, or you can go into your local sports shop and pick up some waterproof trousers. You will still get wet. Water will still find its way in, so you're not going to be absolutely kept dry. It's just to keep most of the water off and the chill off. So I hope that helps. And if at worst, you can buy waterproofs from the Grand Canyon Company when you get there at the Thursday night meeting. So there's a few extra bits and bobs that they'll supply to you if you've not got them as well. So that's on waterproofs. Martin's asked me, apart from alcohol, should we take any food or drink? So a great question, but no, you don't need to take anything else. All your food's provided and it's wonderful, and there's plenty of it. You might want to take some sweeties or some chocolate. In fact, probably it's a good idea just because it tastes so much better for some reason. And so there's usually sweets and chocolate going around, but other than that, no, you get plenty of food and you're well fed. There's usually plenty left over. And as I say, there's lots of Coke and fruit juices available at any time, and mixed drinks. And Sue's asked, should you bring a hat? And you should definitely bring a hat. It's an absolute must. So you need a sun hat, and different types of hats, but a wide brim one, ideal. A little peak cap, obviously, you know, you're moving it around for the sun, but a hat's a must. And Martin said, do we need a torch or a reading light? And I think a torch is a good idea. In fact, I'd say it's a must, a small torch. Mostly, not for reading, but mostly just for moving. You know, when you're in the campsite, you'll be sat round on where, you know, everybody sits and chats and has the meal, and it'll go dark, and then you've got to go back and find where you decided to sleep. Because some people will choose to go and sleep a long way from camp, and others will sleep very close to camp. And usually there's a gaggle of people who like to be, you know, a bit perhaps nervous or want to be together and near each other for safety or security. And then there are other people who want to go quite a good walk and be completely isolated, which is fine. And so you need your torch to see where you're walking. So I hope that answers that one. Great. Okay, so let's move on a little bit and tell you a little bit more. And as I say, don't hesitate to put your hand up or put a question in the box. We'll try and cover it. I'm going to try and finish for 9 o'clock, so that would be an hour. So, you know, hope this is helpful. So this is just the system about when you go to the toilet. People have said, how do you know nobody's already on the toilet when you go? And this is the system. So basically, you can see there's a hand washing water system, and they're very strict about you wash your hands before you go to the toilet, when you come back to the toilet, and you wash your hands before you go to the food table and after you've been to the food table, because we don't want anybody getting sick and they're being, so they've got special soap, and you wash your hands, and you take that blue pillow with you, if you like, when you go. So when you come to the station, if that pillow's not there, you know somebody's already on the groover, and that's how that works. So there's another shot of the lunch table, and you can see how hot it is on that particular day. It really can be boiling hot. So you're quite glad of the river to cool you down in sometimes. You're splashing yourself. I've actually on purpose not showed a lot of pictures of all the things you'll see, or a lot of the things you'll see, because it's nice that there's surprises as you go down. So, but this is one place called Havasu Canyon, and it's a little hidden side canyon, and again it's got that same azure gorgeous water, and it's just my most favourite place in the world. So of all the places I've been, and I've travelled all over the world, you can imagine with Spice on many holidays. But this is the place I'd like my ashes to go. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you get to go there and really enjoy it as I am. Wonderful place. And I thought I'd show you one of the rapids. So this is one of the rapids. This is Lava Falls. It's a bit, it doesn't look as big as perhaps it is. It's quite a big rapid, this one, and it is quite exciting. It's a grade 10, and fortunately it's it's at the end of the trip, so you've got quite blasé and used to going through rapids by then. But nevertheless, it's still exciting. You have to hold on, and you will get wet on that one. So that we've gone to look at that rapid before. The raft's pulled in nearby, and we've walked down to have a look at it. So that's Lava Falls there, and that's another shot of Huddersfield Canyon that I was talking about before. You can see how lovely it is, hopefully. And you were asking about visitors in the night, so there you go. There's what happens when you leave your biscuits out. And likewise, I left something out on one of my trips, and I heard a rustling, and I got my camera, and I couldn't see what it was because it was so dark, but I just took a picture, and the flash lit up, and it was a lemur, a little sort of like squirrel thing, only black and white circles on its tail and on its body. It was beautiful. So you know, that was because I left similarly some cookies out for people. Well, not for anybody other than me, but that's what happened. So there you go, little house mice. And obviously we've not mentioned there's loads of wildlife and loads of fauna and flora. So if you like taking pictures, some beautiful things to see down there. There's the one of the side canyons, so you get a sense of its majesty, its gloriousness. And there's one a group going for a walk or a little ramble down the canyon there. So that's the just another picture of the rapid itself, going through the rapids, and we're back to the beginning. So I think, yes, back to the beginning. So there we go. So that's just to give you an insight into what you're about to have a go at. So now a couple of things more while we're here. I wanted to just let you know, not everybody's on Facebook, but if you are on Facebook and you've not found it yet, we do have a Facebook page for the Grand Canyon group. So this is for all the people who've been down the canyon. So if you're on Facebook, navigate, and you've not found the group yet, please try and find the Grand Canyon, Spice Grand Canyon Rafting Group. You either have to search for it, or there's a link on our Facebook, on the actually right up on the website for the Grand Canyon on the Spice website. There's a link to it in the comments at the bottom. But again, have a read through there. Lots of good information. There's some files as well, kit lists, all sorts of things. So and it's a nice way of staying in contact with each other and sharing your pictures when you get back. So watch out for that. And likewise, the company that we're going with, the Grand Canyon Expeditions, they've also got their own page on Facebook. So if you want to pop along there and as they say, like it, that's that will put you in touch with that page, and they do some lovely blog posts and pictures go up there, and you can see what they're sort of doing, and just stay in touch with the company and the guides. So watch out for that. And obviously the other thing is they do have a website. So the Grand Canyon Company have got their own website, gcex.com. And what I've done here is I just wanted to remind myself I'm on their website. There's just a couple of things that I think are really really important or useful. First of all, you might want a carabiner and a hat clip and eyeglass retainer. Use your eyeglasses, because as you're going through the rapids, the water will hit your face and your glasses can go quite quickly. You need sunglasses, or I'd recommend sunglasses. And so these are like the eyeglass retainers. So if you've not got one, they sell them on the briefing meeting. So pick one up there. Hat clip, stop your hat blowing off, and the carabiner to carabiner. You know, you can clip your mug to yourself, to your sort of life jacket or other bits of things. Clip your day sack to the boat. So very handy. So you'll be able to buy them there. The other thing which I strongly recommend you get to enhance your experience is this Grand Canyon River Guide here, this particular book. It's $24, so that's about probably 15 or 18 quid. But it will really enhance your trip because it takes you mile by mile through the canyon and explains about the history and the lots of stories, the geography. It's all in there, the wildlife, everything you need to know. And it's actually waterproof, so if it gets a bit wet, it doesn't matter. And you can write on it, so you can also use it as a bit of a journal if you want to as well. So I really recommend you get that. And again, that will be for sale at the briefing meeting. But other than that, that's obviously that's the Grand Canyon website. So lots of information on there. So do go and have a look if you want to have a look what's going on. That's their website there. So great. Back to questions then. Sue's asking, where does our day pack go to keep it dry when we're not using it? So basically what happens is on the raft, this is a picture of the raft here, it'll come in a minute on your screen, right? What happens is your day sack, there's a big day sack, a very big sort of day sack, and you can stuff in it clothes that you are not using, like maybe a fleece or something like that. You can push in there, and you can clip to the top of that and round it your day sacks. So they are at the back of the boat or in the middle of the boat where it's unlikely that they'll get wet. It's around this area here. So that's where your day sack goes, and cameras and camera cases can go in this big day sack which zips up. Can hold a load of stuff, and people clip their bags on there. And then obviously these are the ammo cans, and you can sit on the ammo cans. Sometimes they put them to a side, so it forms, some people sit on them with these cushions, and others sit on the front of the boat. And you've got a choice of sitting either on the front of the boat as you go through the rapids, which is a lot of fun. But if you're not feeling like you want to get wet, or you're not feeling at your best, you can also sit in this back portion here, and you don't get wet there. It's dry. It's not quite as exciting a ride. They call it a chicken coop or chicken ranch in there. So you can go and sit in there as well. And usually people swap around. So that's how that works. So that's where your sack goes. Anything else? The other thing is I want to say, make sure you've got your esters. So if you've not got your esters yet, we've sent you lots of reminders and emails about that. You need to definitely make sure you get your ester. It's one thing we can't do for you. You have to go onto the website and get it yourself. Make sure you go on the American official website. I won't say who. Somebody says, what's an ester? So this has been referenced in all our various confirmations and information to you. It stands for Electronic System of Travel Authorization, and basically you need to go online and complete it and get it so that you're already registered when you get there. Otherwise they can refuse you entry into the USA without one. So we sent you the link, and if you can't find it, you want it again, ask us. But there is an official ESTA website, and there are quite a few unofficial ones which charge you more money, and you think you're on the official one. So make sure you're on the official ESTA website. As I say, we've sent the links in the emails and in the letters that we've sent. So do make sure you've got your ESTA. So I'm glad I mentioned it. It's usually been highlighted in bold and red in the emails we've sent, so hopefully nobody's missed it. But we will perhaps check everybody's got it. It's like, it's not a visa, but it's instead of a visa, and it used to be able to fill a form in on the aeroplane when you went to America, which was a visa waiver. Now they've stopped that. They make everybody go online and register, and that way you're already on their system. So they've gone electronic, if you like. And there are some countries and some passports where you can't do that. You've got to go through and declare yourself or get a visa. But for the UK, if you've got a UK passport, you do need to get yourself registered to get an ESTA. So just go back to your various letters, confirmation letters, or and you'll see the links in there. Hopefully, you've still got those important documents. And the other thing is, obviously, we do need some extra information. We have asked for people to tell us what their passport numbers and details are, and what their insurance details are if you've not bought ours, the one we offer, and your next of kin. And if you've not done that, there's a form again we've sent out. Please get that back to us, otherwise we'll be chasing you. You can also go online and do it on your Spice UK profile as well. So just if you can watch out for that. So I think that's probably enough of me. And unless you've got any final questions, or you want to say hello, do stick your hand up. And there's a couple of people, so I'll come to you again just to see if you want to say hello. We'll try Kathy again. Are you there, Kathy? Hello, Kathy. You got your hand up. Are you there? That's Kathy Newall. Oh, it doesn't look like you're there. So if you had a question, do type it. I'll put your hand down. And there's also Phil. Phil. Again. Hi, Phil.
Yeah, hi Dave. Yeah, so it's about the ESTA application. Do you need to take a print out once it's gone through, or do they have it on the system there?
They have it on the system, but I mean, I would print it off personally and take it. But I think it's on the system, So, but yeah, you just need to go through. I can get to the website and show it you if anybody needs. Let me just see if I can navigate there to it to give you an idea. So, where's Grand Canyon website? Let me just. I didn't have that ready, but I can. Oh, let me just see if I can find it for you. I should go to Google and Google it, but I know we've already sent links out. Balance request, here it is. So in your balance request, this is the bit here which sort of says about ESTA in red. If you click that, that takes you to the official website. So that's what it looks like when it comes up. US Customs and Border Protection. So make sure you're on the right one. It's a funny URL, but it does have gov in it, dhs.gov.esta. And that's where you'll complete your application and work your way through. Obviously you need your passport because they'll ask you those details. And they ask you where you're going to, and you need to put Las Vegas in there, your hotel address. You can just put the Luxor Hotel Las Vegas, that's fine. So it is, everybody has had the link, by the way, because it's part of your confirmation document, which everybody has got to have had, which is part of the atoll. So if you've not got it, that is the link you need. What I'll do is I'll just copy it, and I'm going to paste it into the chat box. So I hope if you look at the chat box, it should be there, and you should be able to link it. I hope that's worked. So that's already there. And now let me just see. Freddie, hello, Freddie. Freddie Lennox is saying hello, so nice to hear from you. Yes, Kathy, I've got all your messages. I've got your message that you've sent as a message on the Spice website. There should be a question box on your screen attached to this webinar control, and that's where you would, well, that's where you put these messages. So you can get through to me that way, just where you put not sure how to ask a question. Exactly, that's where you do it. Yes, I've got this. That's it, coming in. So that's how I see what you're saying. So there we go. Liz has got a hand up, and then we'll see if you wanted to say hello, Liz. Are you there, Liz?
Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Just remind me what the luggage allowance is on the Delta flight.
Remind you what the luggage allowance is. I don't know without looking it up, I'm afraid.
Okay, not to worry.
It's because it's America. It's usually at least 20 kilos, but it will.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll look it up.
And it'll come out with your joining pack next week as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it's plenty.
Lovely, thanks.
Because you don't have to take much. You'll have plenty of room, so don't worry.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
No worries. Oh, I did have a quick poll, so I'm going to try before we go and just see if I can have a go at this. So just to see who is on the webinar. There you go. So can you just click one of those? A newbie? Are you a newbie or are you an old timer? See who's on the webinar. Sounded like there were a lot of people for this trip, which is great. Somebody's saying they definitely want a tent. I'm worried about the rats. Well, there will be one there, but you'll be able to change your mind when you get there if you decide. They'll offer you if you want a tent, but you'll probably be more happy to swing it when you're there and you see it. Flight times, yeah, they are as per advised, Francine. So flight times, you're going at 12:30 from Heathrow and via Minneapolis. So you depart at 12:30, so check-in's at 9:30, 3 hours earlier. And Diane will meet you at the check-in, so you know, she'll be hanging around, looking out for you for half an hour, quarter of an hour either side. That time. Again, it will be made clear in the joining instructions. Let me just, the poll, let's just share that with you, and then you can see what what the results were, I think. Maybe. It was, there we go. So yeah, nearly all newbies. I don't know who that 10% is. Might be Diane. Not sure. So that was that. And so there we go. And I'd like just to say thanks for coming. I hope it's been useful. If you can let me know if you think it's been really useful, because it's something that I think, you know, I'd like to sort of roll out for most of our holidays if people are finding them useful. I think technology people are getting comfortable, and we can cover a lot of ground and so on. The only thing you've not been able to do is talk to each other much. So appreciate that. But use the Facebook group and you know, certainly have a chat through that if you can. But otherwise, I'll say have a fantastic trip. I'm sure it'll be a peak experience for you, and I'm really excited for you that you're going to give it a go. So thanks everybody. I'll leave it there, and as I say, if you've got any other questions when your joining pack arrives or between now and then, don't hesitate to drop us an email or give us a call. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye for now. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.